She's back. The day has finally arrived, everybody. We are back at Busch Gardens Williamsburg for past member preview for Loch Ness. Loch Ness has been down since last year for a extensive refurb, and today they're opening it up for past members to get an early ride on Loch Ness before it opens up to the general public on the 10th. We are here to check it out, give you guys some feedback. We're probably not going to be able to film on the ride up till maybe next week sometime and give you a first person point of view, but today we'll be able to let you know what changes happen. We'll try to do it as spoiler free as possible, so I'll warn you throughout the video if anything's coming up, but we are inside the park. I'm super excited for the return of our girl Nessie. Let's have some fun. And here she is. She's making her way up the track, and we're about to get our first ride on Nessie, but we did get a past member perk. It looks like we will get a Loch Ness Monster sticker over at Tweedside. So before we actually get our first ride on this beautiful lady now that she's back, let's go get our sticker, get those past member previews or past member perks, and then we'll get our rides. And apparently it's unlimited rides, because I was looking at the kiosk to see if you needed like a sticker or something, but you don't. You just need your pass and you get unlimited rides, and you can actually see her there in the distance. I'm excited, guys. All right, and as we make our way over to Tweedside, I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of history on Loch Ness. So first and foremost, Loch Ness has been around for a really long time, almost as old as the park. She hit her 40th year anniversary some years ago, so she's over 40 years old. I believe she's like 45 years old. We're right in front of Tweedside now. But she opened June 2nd, 1978. The height is 130 feet. She's at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. They have a max speed of 60 miles per hour and a duration of 2 minutes. And she closed down last year for an extensive refurb. They did a lot to the track. They removed the loops, repainted them, replaced them, and a lot of the track was actually replaced, and some effects have been added. So we're super excited for all this refurb. Let's get our sticker really quick inside of Tweedside, and then we'll ride the ride and give you guys some feedback. Bam, we got our sticker, and check it out. They have a bunch of Loch Ness merch. Of course, what would you expect? I kind of like this. It's like a, I'm not sure if it's an official Spirit jersey, but it is a Loch Ness-like Spirit jersey. And then we got some shirts, some mugs, magnets, plates, a little bit of everything. So if you want to commemorate the return of Loch Ness, you could do it in style. And I might grab myself a shirt on the way out. All right, and we're making our way back. And another good thing is, when we were here last time for the Food and Wine Festival, you guys saw I wasn't able to finish my lanyard. So I still have the lanyard, and I have some punches in there that we could take advantage of. So I'm thinking after we get our ride that we're about to do, we go to Mexico and grab some tacos and talk about it. All right, so we're officially in line, and let's see if they've changed anything from the preview day that we came. We got to get an early preview of this line, and a lot seems to still have remained the same. I think a lot of what was hidden was obviously, let me turn up the exposure a little bit so it's a little bit brighter. But a lot of what was hidden was more on the ride since we actually got in here. But now, as you can hear, they have like a soundtrack. Oh, and it looks like the communication station is active. I wonder if when you're coming around, this loop like changes up and offers different things, adding to like the story. And I know that the story this year for the new Loch Ness has kind of changed. You're kind of like in a boat and you're actually going after to find her. So it's interesting. And I know they have like the ride cranes. We're about to see them in just a moment. These cranes were added as like an element to add to that story of you being in like a boat and being like a boat captain. But I hear the right side of the vehicle is the spot to sit at. So let's make our way over. I think we're gonna ride multiple times. I wonder if we're the height check. So that's my shoulder. I think I passed. But where is there an empty line? I think we'll do the first roll of the second car to start off. All right, so first ride in, but we're gonna get a few more rides in before we go talk about it. right, and on that note, welcome back, Nessie. What a nice surprise. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let's go grab some food. It is still the Food and Wine Festival here. No better way to talk about the ride and our experience than letting it soak in a little bit and over some great grub. All right, and I've committed myself to some tacos over in Mexico so we could talk about it. But man, today is a great day to be in the park. And of course, we got to pay respects to the beautiful water features as we make our way to Ireland and crossing through Ireland to get to the Mexico booth. But this Thursday, not much of a wait unless you're waiting in the front or back of the Loch Ness car. All the other ones are basically just like jump on straight to the ride. And also, it looks like all the food booths are actually fairly dead as well. So we might be able to finish our lanyard if we have the appetite for it. I am pretty hungry, and those tacos are calling my name. So first and foremost, check out this spot, guys. This little like lounge spot over by Mexico has to be one of the best spots to grab some food and tuck away. You got like a little pond over here, a butterfly garden. But I do gotta say, before we start our review on Loch Ness, Busch Gardens, please get the margarita stand under control. When I order a frozen watermelon margarita, I want it to be frozen. It's hot outside. I want a nice refreshing drink. It's still nice and cold, still delicious, but a little tidbit from my margarita experience. I've had two of them now, when I came for opening and now, and both of them have not been frozen. But in addition to that, welcome back, Nessie. What an amazing experience. You guys know in the past, if you watch some of my early videos, I really didn't pay Nessie much mind. I would skip her over because she was an aero looper. I had ridden her a couple times. She was a little bit rough. But right before the closure, I actually rode Nessie, and I noticed that she was a much better coaster than I had remembered. So immediately I started hoping and praying for her return to be sooner and sooner, and she did not let down. Now, if you don't want any spoilers, here's where you want to jump off, because I'm about to talk a little bit about the experience while you're riding the coaster. So first and foremost, have you jumped off? All right, you've been warned. When you get on the ride, you got the lift hill, and they've added this whole new like little station where it's like a viewing station or a communication center, whatever it may be. You have an audio that plays over, which I think is an amazing touch to kind of get you immersed into that experience before the first drop as you're going up and then going through the first loop of the interlocking loops. In addition, you do have that experience with Nessie when you go into the cave. Now, once again, you've been warned. The experience is about like 4 screens. They've added some screens in the tunnel system, which are a nice little like touch. I gotta say the overall experience of the ride being a lot smoother was a lot more impressive than the added effects. Of course, appreciated. The audio, very much appreciated. The screens in the tunnel, I appreciate them, but they weren't the highlight. The highlight to me was how smooth Nessie is now. The actual like screens you come close to encounter with Nessie, it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool, and I do appreciate it. Before it was just dark in there, and it's like 3 or 4 screens. And one thing I will give you a little pointer is, if you're looking to ride the ride and get the most experience, sit on the right hand side. That's where you'll get the better view of all the monitors. And of course, it doesn't look like a monitor. It just looks like you're going underwater, and you could see Nessie doing her thing, kind of like as if you had like a port window on your boat type of thing. And you do get to see her multiple times on those screens. It's super cool. But overall, my feedback would be those added details didn't make as much of an impact as much as the overall ride experience getting so much smoother. I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised at the refresh of Nessie. And now with that added incentive, or not incentive, that added like a remodel, I can't think of the words, but basically that investment, there we go, that added investment, it only solidifies that Nessie's going to be here for years to come. Kevin talked about it at the preview event that, you know, Nessie is a ride that people thought would get the bad wolf treatment, the big bad wolf treatment, and kind of disappear and go into nothingness. But no, she's been around for over 40 years now, and she's going to be around for another hopefully 20, so that my son could ride it, your son could ride it, your daughter, and other family members could ride Loch Ness. But that being said, guys, that kind of does it. It's a great time to come to the park on a weekday. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is open 7 days a week, it seems like, and it is their food and wine festival, which is a great time to come enjoy the park. And now you have added incentive with the reopening of Nessie being officially the 10th next week. But until then, all past members will get an early preview. So make sure to take advantage of that, past members. And if you're not a past member, make sure to consider. I don't get any incentive for telling you guys this. I just like telling you guys ways to maximize your experience here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Guys, thank you so much for coming along. I enjoyed bringing you along for this adventure of the return of Nessie here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I will see you guys on the next one. But until then, don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?